Good morning, Duff here. How you doing? I wanted to talk about two things today. About my Tesla and Tesla in general. My Model 3, since I bought it in April of this year, it's been my primary commuter vehicle. And let's just get over. I was in autopilot there. Let's get over here and let's re-engage autopilot. My Model 3 has been my primary daily driver since I bought it in April. And my commute, which is approximately 24 miles, somewhere around there, usually will consume, always actually will consume 10% of battery on the way there, 10% of the battery on the way back with the route that I take and the way that I drive. Oh, here we go. Let's see, are we going to slow down? Yes, we are. Okay, good. So yeah, on a normal day, I'll use 20% of my battery doing my daily commute. Now, all of a sudden, and it seemed to me like it corresponded with the latest update, the 36.2.1 update, I noticed that it started taking sometimes 11% of battery to get to work. And a couple times even 12%. Like yesterday, it was 12% there and back. And it struck me as odd. I was trying to figure out what was going on. Is this something with the software update? You know, is this something with the new hold feature, which supposedly gets you more range, not less? You know, I was running theories through my head that possibly the extra 5% power that was unlocked came with a speed penalty. I posted about this on the Tesla Motors Club website, saying, hey, this is kind of weird. I'm using 10 to 20% more battery, meaning, you know, 11 or 12 versus 10, using 10 or 20% more battery to do the same commute that always takes 10%. It's kind of weird. So anyways, I got some theories. Some people asked me about tire pressure. The tire pressure has been down a little bit. And the reason that the tire pressure has been down is because we've had our first cold front in Florida for about the last maybe 10 days, 8 to 10 days. We've had a cold front. And the result of that has been some mornings the temperatures have been in the mid 50s when I leave for work, and get up into the 70s during the day, which is great weather. Love it. But evidently the majority opinion seems to be that that is enough of a temperature decrease to affect your range. Now, I've heard, I heard lots of stories of people up north, during the winter, that their range goes down dramatically. But for some reason in my head, I thought that, 55, 60 degrees wasn't enough to really impact the range. And evidently it is, because my range has been worse, definitively, since the weather has gotten colder. I even pumped the air pressure up in my tires as well. Brought them all up to like 43 the other night, just thinking that might make a difference. But nope, same thing, 11 to 12% each way on my commutes. So I mean, I'm hoping it's just weather. I'm hoping it's just this cold, in quotation marks, weather that we're having here in Southwest Florida. If we get back up into the 80s and my range is still suffering, then I'm going to be scratching my head a little bit. But we will see what happens. I do have a small project coming up for my Model 3. I ordered upgraded air filters for it that I saw on the Rich Rebuilds channel. And I also got the evaporative to combat the musty smell that a lot of Model 3 owners have experienced. Luckily, I have not noticed that in my car yet, and I understand that Tesla made a software change to minimize that occurring by allowing the fan to run longer after the car is off. But yeah, and I'm only at, I don't know, 8,500 miles, 8,000 miles, something like that. So I don't really know that I need to do it yet, but I'm going to do it just because I have it. So that will be coming up sometime in the next week or two. But let's talk about what everybody that owns a Tesla is probably talking about today. The new Cybertruck reveal by Tesla. I was looking forward to it. It was more curiosity than anything. I saw some of the the renderings of you know, some predictions of what the truck might look like, and some of them look pretty far out there. And I figure, you know, I'm sure that the truck will look a little bit more conventional than some of these depictions. And no, I did not stay up until 11 o'clock Eastern and watch the reveal. Sorry to say, I guess I'm not a true Tesla fanboy, but I did read about it this morning. Saw some video, saw some more pictures of the actual Cybertruck this morning, and Tesla actually went more futuristic than the renderings that I saw. The renderings were futuristic. The actual truck is a step beyond that, believe it or not, which is kind of hard to do. I was a little shocked when I saw what the truck looked like. It was very angular, very futuristic. There's obviously nothing remotely close to the styling that the Cybertruck is predicted to or looks to be using. And yeah, all I can say is wow. It has some really crazy spec numbers, some crazy design decisions. The body of the truck is stainless steel. So that means that you can get any color you want as long as it's stainless steel. I think I read that they said that if you actually want a different color, your option is going to be to get the truck wrapped, vinyl wrapped. That's how you'll get a Cybertruck in a different color. Interesting choice. They claim that the skin of the truck is bulletproof, and they demonstrated the durability of the exterior. Some guy was on stage and swung at the driver's door with a mallet, or a sledgehammer actually. Now I believe it was a rubber coated sledgehammer, but he hit it pretty hard and it bounced right off, and there was no dent left in the door, so that was demonstrating the strength. And then supposedly the glass used in the truck is supposed to be bulletproof as well. They tried to demonstrate that as well by throwing a metal ball at the driver's side window. It was supposed to just bounce off. Instead, it broke the window. It didn't go all the way through it, but it did break the glass. So that was that was kind of an oops moment. That was not as intended. But I assume that the production truck will have bulletproof glass. I don't know why you would need that, but okay. Again, a very interesting design decision. The design of the lights in the front and the back are, again, different. It's like a light bar. It was described as a Cyclops look. There is no distinctive left and right headlight. It's just one big light bar. On the video I saw, they had the headlights were a light bar, and then up on the roof line there was like a secondary like fog light bar. And the tail light was the same deal. It was a single bar going across the back of the truck. Is today a holiday or something? There seems to be less traffic than normal. I don't know, maybe today's a holiday and I don't realize it. It's not Black Friday, right? No, that's next week, I think. So yeah, weird. The autopilot, okay. All right, back to the truck. Has a high ground clearance, a flat bottom, like all the electric vehicles, all the Teslas have. You know, they have a very flat bottom because the battery's in the bottom. The numbers, now I don't have the numbers memorized. I'll try to throw them on the screen. But the performance numbers, there's 3 trim levels that they talked about. One truck was just a two-wheel drive, rear wheel, two-wheel drive truck. Then they had an all-wheel drive truck with 2 motors. And then they had a tri-motor truck, which I assume probably has 2 motors in the back and 1 in the front. Each at their own price range. The first model was, I believe, $39,900, which was a little bit eye-dropping, jaw-dropping. It was like a Model 3 price, a base model Model 3 price, $39,900. And then the all-wheel drive was $49,900, and the tri-motor truck was $69,900, I believe. And the specs for the low truck, as far as battery goes, I think it estimated around 250 miles of range. Again, Model 3 standard range plus range. And I think it says 0 to 60 times of like 6 seconds, 6.5 seconds. So not slow, but not as fast as other Teslas. That would be the slowest Tesla vehicle that they make. The all-wheel drive truck had range in the 300-mile range, 300-mile area. So that, again, that's similar to a Model 3 long-range vehicle, and that had a 0 to 60 time of 4.5 seconds, I believe, which is about the performance of a Model 3 all-wheel drive as well. But then the $69,900 truck with 3 motors said that it's expected to have a 500-mile range, which is crazy. So a 500-mile range, and the towing numbers were insane. Was it $15,000 or 15,000 pound towing capacity? I think I saw it was either 12 or 15,000 pound towing capacity for the top end truck, which sounded insane. I think it said the payload was somewhere in the 3,200 pound area in the bed of the truck. The bed of the truck had like a roll up, a built-in, I think it's a metallic tonneau cover, but it had the bed, even though from a side profile you wouldn't know it, it supposedly has like a standard 6.5 foot long bed. There's no cutouts for wheel wells, so it's a nice flat floor, so you can get as much as possible in the bed of the truck. So it has real world truck capabilities, which kind of blew my mind. The interior of the truck, very spacious. The image that I saw had 3 seats up front, and a big I think it was a bench in the back, or was it individual seats? I don't remember now. I'll have to look at this picture and verify it. But I think it claimed to be 6-person seating, similar to the Model 3. Has a big tablet in the middle, minimalist otherwise. And it's interesting. Instead of a rear window to see out of it, it said that they're going to have a video screen behind the driver that will show a live video feed of the rear view. That will be your rear window, will be a TV screen that's showing what's going on behind you. Which I can kind of do with the basically imagine this going on behind you, and that would be how you see what's going on behind you at all times. Crazy. The tires in the Cybertruck, big, nasty looking 35-inch tires. It has a air suspension that's supposed to give plenty of travel. Even though, I assume it can go off-road, but I don't know. I'd be hesitant to do so, but supposedly it's going to be built to be able to handle that stuff. Bulletproof body, bulletproof glass. Oh, and it has a glass roof as well, like a Model 3. So it sounds crazy, man. It sounds too good to be true, to be quite honest with you. Something that futuristic, that cool, with numbers of pricing in line with the lineup that's out there already, with Model 3 pricing, basically. If it comes to be true, it's going to be awesome. So I was sort of blown away. I expected the truck offering from Tesla to be futuristic and cool. I did not expect what the Cybertruck is. It exceeded my expectations for sure. Now, of course, this isn't slated to start production until the end of 2021. So in Tesla time, that means probably a year or more later than that. So hopefully it's not like the Elio, something I put a deposit on years ago. Hopefully it's not vaporware. And there is going to be competition because supposedly Ford's making an electric pickup truck. There's the Rivian, which I've read about and seen stuff about. So there is going to be competition. But I can tell you that neither of those trucks look anything as crazy as the Cybertruck. Not even close. And the funny thing is you can pre-order, and no longer do you have to shovel out a wad of cash to pre-order a Tesla. It used to be $2,500. If you wanted to buy a Tesla, you had to fork out $2,500 on the credit card. Now, for $100, you can reserve your vehicle. And I'm thinking about doing it. Just, even if it winds up just being a Tesla donation, I'm kind of okay with it. But I might reserve one. It's that cool. I love my 2016 Toyota Tacoma, but this could do everything that the Tacoma does, especially when you're talking about getting 300 miles of range. It could do everything that the Tacoma does, and it would be a Cybertruck, man. We'll see. I don't know. I might just do it. Oh, that pricing that I mentioned does not include autopilot. They're still sticking to the model where if you, or not autopilot, full self-driving. They're still sticking to the model. If you want full self-driving, you gotta pay an exorbitant amount of money for it, $7,000 at this point for full self-driving. If you want full self-driving in your Cybertruck, at this point, I don't know that I would get full self-driving in the Cybertruck. I don't know. My mind might change if full self-driving actually becomes a reality, and you know it gets implemented in my Model 3, which I've paid for. But at this point, it's still kind of vaporware. No firm ETA on the horizon, so I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I guess I could always add full self-driving to the truck if I wanted to. But at this point, if I would pre-order one, I don't think I would include it in the order. Alright, so that's going to wrap up this video. I'm in my line in Dunkin' Donuts. If you found this video interesting, please give it a big thumbs up. If this is your first time visiting the channel, please consider subscribing. If you're going to subscribe, you might as well hit that bell over there to get notified new videos when they're posted. Feel free to leave your comments, suggestions, ideas, and thoughts below, whether it be how cold weather affects your Tesla and the range, like what kind of range loss do you get during colder weather, like Florida cold. And also, what are your thoughts on the Cybertruck? More excited about it than I thought I was going to be quite honest with you. So yeah, let me know what you think about it in the comments section below. Hope you have a good weekend ahead of you. That's all I have for you for now. Until next time, Duffman out. No thanks.
What can I pack for you?
Can I get an extra large hot coffee with cream and sugar?
Extra large hot coffee, cream and sugar. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, window, please.
Okay. Used 12% again today. 64 degrees.